Good morning or good evening, ecologists, based upon where you are in the world right now. Have you ever heard me suggest that responsibility breeds empowerment? You know, when we take full ownership of our stuff, our issues, our challenges, our crises in life, it's only when we take ownership of our stuff that we become empowered to overcome our stuff and do something about it. In the Life Coach certification course, I actually tell a story, give reference to a guy that I used to work with quite a number of years ago called Chris. It wasn't so much a working relationship, it was a guy that I'd kind of taken under my wing. Chris he is a guy who lives locally to me. If you were to ever walk through Dunfermline, which is where I live, you'll see him frequently sitting on the high street with a hat in front of him, begging for some loose change. Going back a few years ago, he used to sell The Big Issue, and this was his attempt of making some money so that he could cover the costs of his various lifestyle choices. Now, Chris had been addicted, all right? He'd developed a bit of an addiction to heroin, methadone, alcohol, and a few other mind-altering substances over the years. And I can remember having conversations with Chris, and he would sometimes say, this isn't the life that I chose. This isn't the life that I chose. It was one that was placed upon me. And before I knew any better, I used to just nod my head in agreement and kind of feel sorry for Chris a little bit. He used to tell me about his upbringing, his parental experience, about how his mother used to beat him and punch him and stub cigarettes out on him and things like this. Now, I'm telling you a true story here. But to be honest with you, I guess I'd grown a little bit attached to him. Yes, Chris was a rascal. He was a bit of a rogue, but he was one of these lovable rogues. I just always had a bit of a soft spot for him. So I'd done my best just to guide him in the right direction. But to be honest with you, nothing happened. Nothing ever changed. The couple of years that I spent doing my best to invest into Chris, nothing changed for him. Sometimes Chris would say things to me along the lines of, my mother has a lot to answer for. I would respond by saying things like, Chris, you're the one who chooses to inject yourself with that junk in your arms. You're the person who pours that alcohol down your throat. You're the one who chooses to sit there instead of tidying yourself up, presenting yourself well and going pursuing work or re-educating yourself. You're the one who's choosing this. And he says, no, I'm not. My mother has a lot to take responsibility for. Now, I could give you all the ins and outs of this story, but to be honest with you, I'm pretty sure I've painted a picture by now that until we take responsibility and full ownership of our stuff in life, then we're never, ever going to be empowered to change, especially if we're pointing this finger of blame, blaming other people, our political leaders, our parents, God, the local church, our teachers, whatever. If we're blaming other people and other things, as being the main reason why our lives are the way that they are, we are living weak and disempowered lives. And this is not what I want for you, and it's most certainly not what I want for your clients. And I'm sure you're hopefully nodding your head in agreement. So, I want to share with you a little idea today, all right? And this is that until dogs have owners, they cannot be trained. And in exactly the same way, until problems have owners, they cannot be resolved. So I'm going to leave this little idea with you today. I do appreciate it's a bit of a broad idea. Before I ask you today's question, which I'm sure is going to invoke some rather interesting and healthy discussion. Today's question is, if you were to be 100% completely honest, because we can all be slightly hypocritical at times, can't we? What issue or problem in your life have you not yet taken 100% full responsibility for? What issue are you still secretly waiting for someone else to come along and fix? I look forward to following on the discussion posts today.